this is Country Geckos. In today's video, I'll be weighing all of my reptiles. So I've been getting quite a few requests lately to make a reptile room video just to update you guys on my setups and all my animals and how they're doing. But at the current time in my reptile room, I'm doing a lot of cage cleanings, a lot of moving around and shifting, and some of the cages aren't looking the way I want them to right now. So I don't think it's a very good time for me to make a full reptile room video, but you can expect that to come out within the next few months when everything's looking in its best shape. But I think the best way to show you guys all of my animals and how they're doing is to just go ahead and weigh them so you can get a good look at each of my animals and you can see how much they weigh just to determine whether or not they're healthy. But just be looking forward to a reptile room video, but it's going to be a little while. Alright y'all, so enough talking, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so as you saw, we're going to go ahead and start off with my bearded dragon, my male bearded dragon Ralph right here. He's actually been having a little bit of issues lately with pinworms, but we're getting him treated right away, and the medicine we've been administrating to him has already influenced him, or already his eating habits have already improved, and he's more active and less dehydrated, so he's doing quite well. And we're just going to make sure he's not lost any weight and see if he's above the 300 mark, which is the recommended breeding weight for a male bearded dragon. So let's go ahead and get our scale turned on here, set to 0, set him in this basket, hopefully he won't jump out, and we are at 408. I'll go ahead and bring that down so you guys can see, so you know I'm not lying. 408, nice and healthy. Now that we've gotten his weight down at a 408, I'm going to go ahead and chart this down. What I usually do is I write it down on a piece of paper first, just in case I make any mistakes, and then electronically enter it on like a Google Doc, and then I put it under a certain month, and I probably should go ahead and write that. And this is for the month of February. So there we go with Ralph. Got him recorded at 408 grams. Don't forget your units. Alright guys, so up next, as you saw, is my African fat-tailed gecko, MOCHA, my female African fat-tailed gecko. Sort of all of my animals, she's always kind of been the one where I've had a harder time getting her to grow. But let's go ahead and check and see if she's at the proper weight. As an African fat-tailed gecko, just the lowest you can go for breeding a female, which what she is right here, is 45 grams. So let's see if she's within that realm. She's kind of had a tough winter and not been eating too great, so there's a chance she might not have reached that threshold, but we'll see. Yep, and she's at 43. I'll go ahead and get down there and show y'all that. So I'm going to go ahead and write down her weight right here at 43 grams, which is 2 less than the breeding weight, the lowest recommended breeding weight for a female. So MOCHA is at 43 grams, which is a little less than I want her to be, so I need to be working on her, feeding her more on a normal, persistent basis, and making sure that she's eating, possibly giving her some wax worms. Up next on the list is FRITO, my female crested gecko. Really great pet right here. She's always been quite the chunk, as you can see. She's a little chunky around the midsection, but that's okay. As long as she's not obese, we'll be good. Hopefully I'm pretty sure she's going to be above 40 grams, which is the recommended, the lowest recommended breeding weight for a female cresty, but we'll find out. Let's go ahead and get our scale turned on here. Gently set her down in here, as she'll probably cling to my hand, and I can predict the future. Let's try this again. All right, good girl. And she is at 68 grams. So that's pretty hefty, so that's good. I'm not sure about the obesity weight. I'll probably do a quick check on that, but I think she's just a nice and healthy crested gecko, not fat just yet. Alright, so we'll go ahead and write this down. So she is a solid 20 grams above breeding weight, which is a nice little ratio right there, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. We're going to quickly weigh Titan right here. As you can tell, he's sort of a beast. It's been a while, I think, since you guys have seen them, I believe. Absolute giant. Sort of a jerk. But it's good to weigh him anyways. I really do love him. He's a beautiful animal, and I really love these Leachy geckos. If there is an animal in the future I'm going to end up breeding, it will be these Leachies, although I've heard pretty awful things about breeding Leachies, but, you know, whatever. Alright, so we are at climbing out of the basket. It's not a very good weight. Let's try this again. Alright, round 2. Stop. Alright, I got 226. 226. I'm not even going to try to go down there and show you guys because he's not happy that I took him out of his cage. So I'm going to go ahead and put him back, and then I'll chart down his results. Guys, so the weights we're looking for, it depends on what type of locale your Leachianus is. My Leachianus is a Pine Island, so that's a mainland type locale, I believe. Not great with the locales, but the offshores, as they are usually genetically smaller in size, the breeding weight is lower, and as mainland Leachianuses are generally larger. For example, Pine Island and Grand Terre, you know, the breeding weight's going to be higher, and I pretty much got a systematic, they were both equal, male and female, and Titan is a male, so, and I got 226. I believe he is, what, 3 years old, so they're pretty slow growers. I've read they can oftentimes there's been results of them living 30 years in captivity, so they're pretty slow growing animals, so, but I'm pretty satisfied with that weight. Up next, guys, is my ball python Jerry. He is a male ball python. Honestly, I've done very little research on the breeding of ball pythons because it's really nothing I've ever researched into. But the weights that I came up with through my limited research was for male, 700 grams. Nothing less than 700 grams is recommended. And for female, it recommends that you wait 3 to 4 years before you breed them, as they are very slow growing animals. Snakes are, and wait until they're around 1,700 grams, which is quite a bit. But these are pretty big animals. You know, the females can get up to, what, 6 to 7 feet, I believe. The males are quite a bit smaller. But let's go ahead and get a quick measurement on him. Make sure to turn the scale on first. And let him slinky his way down in there. And he sticks his head through it immediately. Alright guys, so let's try that again real quick. That was pretty much a total failure. But now I've got a new container to put them in, so let's give this a shot. Alright, we are at 266. Alright guys, so I went ahead and wrote that down. This isn't really a concern, obviously, because he's not even close to being full grown. He still has a long ways. Like I said, snakes grow pretty slowly, especially these ball pythons are so lethargic acting. Excuse that crackling sound in the background, that's my bearded dragon. So he's only, I believe, 1.5 years old. He might be even less, so he's still got quite a bit of growing left, and he's a healthy eater and an active snake, so nothing to worry about here. Just gotta make sure he keeps growing. Alright, so up next is my female gargoyle gecko, COMET. I'm expecting her weight to be a little lower than accepted, just because she is egg-bound. So, you know, that is a health deficit. She's got a little bit of metabolic bone disease, as you can see there, primarily because of the eggs that she lays every few months that are infertile, by the way, just deprive her of her calcium. But she is a good eater, so let's go ahead and get a weight on her. Center her up, and we are at 55. Similar to the crested gecko, which I've got up here. Where's it at? Right up here. 40 and 35 are the accepted ranges, and her being it's now at 56. That puts her at 16 above the accepted female breeding weight, which is quite the accomplishment, primarily because of, you know, her metabolic bone disease and her egg-bound issue. So I'm pretty happy with that. You know, honestly not too surprised as she is such a good eater. So we'll go on and go to our next pet. Alright, up next is the original Phoenix right here, my male leopard gecko. He's quite a hoss. He's pretty big, so I'm not concerned whatsoever. He's always been a good eater, always been relatively healthy. So let's go ahead and get a quick weight on him. Let's see, got it set at 0, set him down. And we are at 95 grams. So I can work with that. So the accepted breeding weight for a female, as the female weight's a little bit more important than the male, is 50 grams. But as he is male, he needs to be above 40, and he's got that by 55 grams. So I think he's good to go. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I thought this would just be the best way for me to show you all of my animals and how they're doing during this transition phase in my reptile room. I'm doing a lot of spring cleaning, like I said earlier, so I'm just trying to get everything looking nice so I can produce some more great content once I get some breaks from school through spring break and then when summer comes. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and if you're feeling it, turn on post notifications and go ahead and drop a comment with a question or a compliment, whatever you'd like to post. Just thank you guys so much for watching this. I'll see you on the next one. This is Country Geckos.